What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Nerd Media. And earlier today, I watched the next 3 episodes of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and this show is still super awesome and spectacular. So in this video, I'm going to be reviewing episodes 6, 7, and 8. I'll split it up into different parts in the video, so if you want to hear me talk about a specific episode, you can, because a lot of things happen in each of these episodes that are worth talking about. So that's what we'll be doing in this video. And with all that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below if you've seen Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and if you've seen the latest episodes. Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's dive right into the video. So episode 6 of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man was a very, very strong one, and it really solidified this whole conflict with Lonnie and him slowly turning into just being a part of this gang and just enjoying being a part of this gang. It really made that part of the show my favorite part in this episode and in the next few episodes. I just am so fascinated with how well done that storyline is, and I'm personally really happy with it, and it's going to really suck when we see him turn, because we know what's happening at this point. We're 6 episodes in. They're making it blatantly obvious that that's what they're leading to, and it is pretty sad, because he's a great character. And it was really fun to see some cameos from some MCU characters as well. Like in this episode, we got a cameo from President Ross, who is seeing him in this, and then tomorrow we're going to see him in Brave New World. We're getting a Ross-filled week with Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. That conversation that he has with Norman Osborn, I really think that there's something up with Norman, and I really think that he's using Peter for something Spider-Man related, obviously, but I feel like he's putting on a show, and he's really trying to kind of just do something. We don't know what his plan is, but I know that something's up. That point gets proven even further when we see Daredevil appear in this episode, which was awesome. We knew he was going to be in the show. We knew he was going to be voiced by Charlie Cox, but it was so cool, and I loved that fight sequence. And the animation on the show really shines when they're doing the fight sequences. And I have really grown on the animation overall, but I think that the animation truly gets to show its full potential with the fight sequences, and this fight sequence was no different. I loved hearing that Daredevil theme play when we see him and how it played throughout the fight. That was so cool. I almost got chills during that, because that's just really awesome. And just the Spider-Man being quippy and stuff and making like one-liner jokes during fights, we were getting that a lot in this show, and this was really present in this fight, and I really enjoyed that. I think that is what Spider-Man should be, and I'm really glad that the show is nailing that. And in this episode, we also get the first planting of the seeds of Norman kind of favoring Peter over Harry slightly, and kind of like seeing him more as a son rather than Harry is. And if this episode proved us one thing about Peter in this universe, he sucks at keeping a secret as Spider-Man, because now Norman Osborn knows, Harry knows, and now Nico knows. And all three of them reacted in different ways, and I feel like Nico's reaction is probably the most like realistic one that we've gotten, just because of how close they were and everything like that. It was really well done, and I really do enjoy seeing when like people find out who Spider-Man is and how that whole thing unravels. And this episode really kind of pushed on that fact that Osborn and Dr. Octavius are really kind of like, they have that conflict with each other like they usually do. And at the end of the episode, we see a tease for Scorpion, which was really sick, and his suit looks awesome, and I loved how it was used in the next few episodes. But it's really cool to see that those two are kind of working together, Doc Ock and Scorpion. It's really cool, and it just leads into some really fun and crazy stuff in episode 7. Episode 7 is probably a big improvement of episode 6. I mean, I love episode 6, but with these 3 episode releases, the episodes just tend to get better and better after each watch. And man, episode 7 is no different. I honestly think that this is probably my favorite episode that we got this week for Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. It really just, the Lonnie stuff gets so personal, and his whole shift on his personality on just kind of siding with the gang, the street gang more, because they protected him and they took him in and they like care for him and things like that. They care for him. I don't think they do, but I think they're just using him. This episode just showed that Norman is using Peter, and that he clearly has something else that he's doing, because after Spider-Man gets beat up after that really awesome and amazing fight sequence with him and Scorpion, which we'll talk about in a second, we see a glider come in, which is more than likely the Green Goblin glider, come in and save him. And I'm like, wait, so is he already Green Goblin? Is he like have a suit of his own that he's working on, or he's not technically Green Goblin yet, but that's the suit that he'll use? I am very like very fascinated by that choice because he is not Green Goblin yet that we know of. We don't know that for sure because Green Goblin's kind of like a dual personality thing in the Raimi films and everything else. So maybe he is Green Goblin, he just doesn't know it yet. But I would figure that he would know because he knows where the glider is. I don't know. I'm really fascinated by that. And I think that's a really creative and cool choice. And this show continues to make really awesome choices like that. But this episode had a really awesome action sequence, probably my favorite of the show. And it was Spider Man versus Scorpion. It was really dope. And I love to see how Peter thought he won at first. And he's kind of in danger because Norma took out the earpiece. And then he gets beat up, which this may be weird to say, but I love seeing a beat up Spider-Man, like in his suit and everything. I feel like we don't see that enough. We definitely don't see it enough in the Tom Holland MCU films. I don't think we saw it as much in the Amazing Spider-Man films. It was very, very present in the Raimi films, which is one of my favorite aspects of the fights in those films. It was also revealed that Nico has powers when she was driving Harry's car. Overall, this episode's probably my favorite of this week. It was awesome. I enjoyed every second of it. And this show continues to kill it and get better and better after each episode. But episode 8 is probably one of the most awesome pieces of Peter Parker things we've gotten on screen in the past few years because this episode has no Spider-Man at all. And it is very, very focused on Peter Parker. And I love when we get to see just Peter live out his life and kind of take a break from being Spider-Man and just kind of seeing, like, maybe after a big battle or something like in this episode, like the repercussions of that and how he's like contemplating being Spider-Man and if he's needed, and just seeing him have these like personal struggles as well, and seeing him do normal like high schooler things like go doing a project and just going out to do other things and stuff is really awesome to see. And I love kind of seeing him struggle with some of the other personal things that he has going on, like Nico now knowing that he's Spider-Man, which is insane that he already revealed that. And then just the end of the episode, getting that red and blue suit. I cannot wait. It's going to be dope. And this episode was a great, great look at Peter Parker as a character. I enjoyed a lot of that, every single second of it. And I really like seeing how he actually got really, really beat up from that fight. But man, I am so, so, so excited for the next 2 episodes next week. It's going to be awesome. I am very grateful for this release schedule because, man, I don't think I could go 10 weeks with this show. I need every episode right now. We also got to see some looks at the Chameleon, who is like this kind of messenger for some of the gang members and everything. I wonder if we'll see him more. I'm not 100% sure yet. Episode 8 is probably one of my favorite episodes overall of the series. It is a great episode, mainly because it just so heavily focuses on Peter Parker as a character. And I just love when we see Spider-Man media do things like that, where we just get like either like a comic book issue, an episode of a TV show, or a few scenes in a movie of just Peter Parker and not Spider-Man, and we get to take that breather. I love that, and I think that it is just really, really awesome. Goes of, does he want to be Spider-Man? Is he needed as Spider-Man? And going over the personal struggles that he has with the people around him, which is what this episode is heavily focused on. And I just adored it. I adore whenever they do just Peter Parker stuff, and this show did it in a great way. And there's a really, really dope moment in this episode where we see Doc Ock kind of like take on the SWAT team, and he has like his tentacle arms come around and just kind of like take everybody away from the shadows and stuff. It really, really gave off vibes of that hospital scene where the arms kind of take control in Spider-Man 2 and just get rid of everybody in that room. It gave off those kind of vibes, and I love those vibes. I thought it was awesome. And then it was followed up by a crazy appearance from Tony Stark, Iron Man. That was awesome. I loved that. And his suit is so comic accurate. I love the MCU suits for Iron Man. I think they're some of the most well done suits we've gotten from the MCU. But man, seeing like the circular arc reactor with like the yellow coming out of it, and just the way that it looks, very comic accurate. I loved it. We got an interesting scene in this episode where it seems like Norman Osborn is trying to have Peter not pull his punches and just totally just go berserk on people and not go by the code that Spider-Man goes by, which is to not kill people. It seems like he's trying to get him more on that violent path, which definitely sets him up for whatever he's doing. It confuses me even more each episode, but clearly it's building up to something. I don't know, like, does he want Peter on his side when he eventually reveals himself as Green Goblin to, like, support him and be on his team? Well, I don't know what his motives are, but, man, I'm so confused, but I'm very excited to see where that goes. The biggest moment of this episode for me was when we see Harry and Peter in an Oscorp tower, and he shows them that he's been working on the red and blue suit. Man, I cannot wait to see that next week. It's gonna be so awesome. I can't wait. I am a little bit. I think my only flaw with this show, probably overall, is going to be that we had to wait this long for the red and blue suit. But we did get some cool suits along the way. It was fun, and I really hope that we stick with this red and blue suit for a long time. I don't see why we wouldn't, but they're gonna have to sell some toys, so maybe we'll switch it up next season. But overall, I really enjoyed these 3 episodes, and I am just loving this show. As a Spider-Man fan, I could not be more happy about this show right now. It is just blown me away with how good the storytelling is and the action and just everything about it. And just having this unique take on Spider-Man, it's been really refreshing. And to get a grounded Spider-Man, we're basically getting everything that we've been wishing for as Spider-Man fans for the past few years in an animated series. But I'm excited about it. It's awesome. And I am so excited for the finale next week. I cannot wait. You guys enjoying it? Do you think that it has more flaws than I said? Do you think that it's really awesome? Did you enjoy the episodes this week? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.